This is the Meta 1 month overview reading for the month of March 2024. It's currently January 29th, 2024, 2:31 p.m. Eastern Time. Meta at the time of this reading is currently $400.51 USD. The shuffle video that we're about to play for you was created on January 8th, 2024 at 8:17 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here in the corner. The overall theme and behavior for Meta in March is a fast, sudden move higher that'll stand out on a one-year chart scale. It is, however, crossed with either bearish price swings or a sharp drop, or maybe both of those is crossed in there. So this should be slightly mixed, at least slightly mixed overall, but to the upside. Behavior around the highest high for the month, we have out of a decline, fast, sudden move higher that ends the decline, and that fast, sudden move higher takes us into the high. Behavior around the lowest low, there is bumping along resistance sideways near the low. Generally speaking, the Valor card is a bullish card. It's more comfortable in a high correlator position than a low correlator position, but probably what happens is near the low there's a resistance that we bump along for an extended period of time before breaking through it and going higher out of the low. Now, when we take a look at February, we had these highs at the end of the month, and then there's a trough, and it looks like a pretty significant drop from that high at the end of the month into a trough, and then a move higher early in the day on the first, taking us to a peak on a 1 month chart scale here in March. But there's a notable decline off of that peak over the weekend or the following day, significant decline. We're going to get into the chart behavior by the day and the timing of the highs and the lows, as well as the highest high and the lowest low, and the timing to the day. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing, as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Okay, so the chart behavior going day by day, left to right across the screen. Each card represents 1 day of time, but what's important to understand, in most cases the reading's gonna line up perfectly, like the highs and the lows to the day. But there will be cases, some of the readings, where it's plus or minus a day here or there of wiggle room, because not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 24 hours of time. Important to understand that, and when that happens, make sure to follow the sequence of events because of chart behavior. That'll keep you on track. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing, as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. So like I said, prominent move higher on the 1st. There's a full retracement of that either over the weekend or on the 4th. We decline on the 4th, to and through support, to meet another support, and then we rotate sideways along that support into a prominent trough around the cusp of the 5th. On the 5th, out of that trough, there's a notable move higher standing out on a 1 month chart, followed by a significant reversal early in the day. I'm advised not to chase that rally higher at the end of the day on the 5th. We have a notable reversal and a prominent trough at the end of the day on the 6th, possibly a prominent trough on like a 1 month scale there at the end of the day on the 6th, and then there should be a really big move to the upside out of that, like a fast sudden move higher on a 1 month scale, taking us to a resistance level that's important on a 1 month scale here on the 7th, from which we decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down into another trough. We rally out of that trough pretty notably on the 8th, and that marks an opportunity I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. So it looks like we open lower on the 11th, and early in the morning at a trough, there's a significant move to the upside. Any decline on the 11th, I would consider opportunity to open up a long position, and I'll explain why in the paid version, but I think probably early in the day there's a trough, and then we have a peak early in the day on the 12th. There's a notable fake out or shakeout or some sort of intentional tricky chart behavior. The market makers are trying to shake out novice investors or people that are impulsive, so be very, very careful around that behavior on the 12th. There's a trade opportunity near that peak, and then on the 13th, another crest that we sell off from down to and through support. We do a U-shaped reversal below that price level, come back and reuse it as support. Trade opportunity there. On the 14th, we rotate sideways along key support on a 1 month scale. We rise to meet the nearest critical resistance, and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways along that key support. On the 15th, we have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. In the midst of that erratic behavior, which it's an important price level on a 1 month scale, in the midst of that erratic behavior, we'll revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity, and I might talk about which one that is, which price level that is in the paid version. So we open roughly the same, so we're probably closing near highs on the 5th, and we open at roughly the same price levels on the 18th. But before we go any further, let's take a look at January and see how we're doing thus far. My sense is that this wasn't one of our better readings. I was looking at Feb. So what's interesting is that Meta, we've got the Chariot card there, and the Chariot card appears in the January reading right here. Here's that cross-read incongruency. So we had a highest high here on the 22nd, and that did end up being a highest high thus far. We kind of capped it off there, but it looks like there was another cross-reading correlation here on the 29th for a highest high. So chances are that this right here on the 29th is our highest high. If we see a higher price level tomorrow, that's definitely our highest price level, and either way we should see a significant drop, a really sharp drop tomorrow. So I would be very, very careful, guys, here at these price levels. As far as the trades, so open up a long position on the 2nd, that would have paid off by the 4th, or you could have held it until the 8th, that would have paid off. You could have held it until the 9th, that would have paid off, or the 10th, that would have paid off. It depends on how long you want to hold it, but all those, that entry would have been an excellent place for any of those opportunities. And you can see here on the 4th, we had a quick opportunity near the lows, that full card opportunity before they moved to the upside. So you could have entered in there as well. And then on the 16th, 17th, probably the 17th, you would have opened up a long position, and you'd be holding that long position. You would have held it until the 22nd, or if you wanted to risk it, you would have held it. You would have held it until the 22nd, but that would have made a solid gain. That's like almost 30 points, you know? So these are solid trades, guys. Anybody that had the paid version of the meta reading for January, they knew what trades they were going to make back as early as the end of November, my friends. January reading was created October 25th, 2023 at 1:35 p.m. Eastern time. If you're interested in the paid version, guys, it's the only place you can get this information before it happens. Nowhere else in the world. This is completely proprietary system developed by yours truly. It's a great way to support the channel. You go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, hover over our services, click on SO Meta Posts, scroll down to 1 month subscription, click here to order. Right, we're doing Meta. You click on the Meta subscription right here. $111 for 98% average accurate timing trade information. It's not just timing, it's also the entry and the exit. What to look for as far as entry and exit on 1 day charts, usually, sometimes on 1 month charts, but what to look for chart behavior as far as entry and exit into those trades. You get it all beforehand. Nobody else has it, as well as price level information if we have any of that. Great stuff in there, guys. Only place to get it. Much appreciation to everybody that goes ahead and does that. And if you're interested in more than just the Meta, you want the paid version of any of these other crypto or ticker, I highly recommend the 30 days access to all paid, because that gives you access to the paid version of all of these on a monthly basis. That's a valuable amount of information. Like anybody that knows how to trade and has this information, they're going to kill it. As long as they don't do something dumb and trade like everything in one trade, because that could be the time I'm wrong. With that said, trade responsibly. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Okay, so open lower on the 18th, and then we decline pretty notably. There's an important range on a multi-day scale that's highlighted on the 19th, and it looks like it's probably to the downside, and from that we move notably higher. There's a peak early to midday. I think we probably decline like around the cusp of all right, so we decline into key support on the 19th, rally out of that pretty notably to key resistance early in the day on the 20th. We decline pretty notably on the 20th to revisit previous support from the prior day, and then by the end of the day on the 20th, we're already moving back to the upside to a peak. On the 21st, another notable move higher on a 1 month chart scale. And then we attempt to establish, there's an important peak at the end of the day on the 21st, and we attempt to establish support there on the 22nd. On the 25th, an important price level on a 1 year chart scale is highlighted. Often the science card will indicate a top. So it looks like there's a prominent peak there midday at an important price level on a 1 year chart scale on the 25th. We decline pretty notably into a trough early in the day on the 26th, rally out of that pretty notably into another prominent peak on the 27th, probably early in the day, that forms after a significant move to the upside. It's a brief peak, however, that's followed by a notable decline through multiple support levels. So that all takes place on the 27th. Brief and prominent peak after a big move higher, followed by a decline through multiple support levels, a brief peak and a decline through multiple support levels, all on the 27th. Decline continues into the 28th, marks a significant trade opportunity. I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. And then the sneak preview for April, we have a near overbought crest that we sell off from pretty notably through multiple support levels. I'll talk about what it looks like from the multi-month and multi-year standpoint in the paid version. And thank you to everybody watching. Much appreciation goes out to you. Make sure to follow that rule of karma. That's the whole purpose of the channel. Without people following through on that, we would not be able to put out this content and help people make money. So thank you very much for that. And stay tuned if you got the paid version. I'll see you guys on the next one.